Welcome to Inside the Firm, a podcast dedicated to small business owners and hosted by entrepreneurs, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko. Each week, they take you on their journey of how to start, run, and grow a business by bringing you inside their architecture and real estate development firm. Get a behind-the-scenes tour of how these business leaders manage their clients and foster company culture while creating new and innovative projects. And now your hosts, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko.
Welcome to another episode of Inside the Firm. I am Alex, your host, Gore. I'm here with Lance, Sharpen Your Saw, Cayko. And we're going to tell you, we got some really good stuff. We're talking about the economy. We're talking about trends, 3D printing. We're talking about how to make yourself better. And one of those is to better up your skills. And I'm going to pivot and not talk about Revit Rocket Ship whatsoever.
Wow.
I wouldn't talk about, hey, up your Revit game with Revit Rocket Ship. I'm not going to do that today.
He's not doing it.
I'm not going to say, go there, check it out, money back guaranteed. You're going to get faster. You're going to get your money back just by increasing your knowledge and all that. I'm not going to say that.
Not happening.
Okay? I'm going to talk about architectsguide2.com.
Wow.
Architect's Guide to what, Lance? Architect to
Builder.
contractor.
Yeah.
To contractor,
Yep.
right? And if you're a little bit nervous about this economy, we're going to go into some stories and things like that. It is a great way to secure a steady source of income. Especially, honestly, if you are that small, I'm going to say that small firm, that one person to even like 10 person, because I think medium is like 25 to 50. Mm-hmm. And then not a lot of architecture firms are bigger than that, which would then be a large firm like Gensler or whatever.
And so like credit is constricting bigly right now. There's some crazy news coming out today. We're recording this on March 10th, 2023, and the major banks are having a meltdown. If you go to Twitter, you look, they're having a meltdown. Jim Cramer, bless his heart, just tweeted, JP Morgan is a fortress. You know what that means? It means it's not a fortress because Jim Cramer is wrong about everything. So what I'm going with this is like, okay, if the credit is constricting, a lot of the people we build for are just paying with cash. So they're holding the cash. And if you're trying to position yourself to make it through this downturn, and it's coming, it's going to get worse. I think I have an article that I'm going to read later that Al is going to prove Al right. It's going to prove Al right about his April prediction, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that's critical to your success, is trying to have that extra income stream, becoming an architect to builder / contractor.
Yep. And honestly, the price is affordable, especially for the return that you're going to get.
Yeah.
I sincerely recommend you check it out. You know, Jake, our NDSU friend, he's doing it.
He's doing it.
He talked to him. He called me the other day.
Nice.
Hey, Al, do you have any advice on building for the first time? Well, actually, we put this together.
Architectsguide2.com.
Yep. So go check it out.
Check it out. The other thing you need to check out is arccat.com. If you can't find the product data you're looking for, you might be using the wrong search engine. Broad searches result in consumer products, out-of-date information, and websites that hide or don't have the information you're looking for. If you need specifications, CAD or BIM, arcat.com is your search engine. Find and download the up-to-date data you need fast. arcat.com is free, requires no registration, so try arcat.com. That's arcat.com. I also need you guys to check out PellaLuxury.com /the firm. Experience a collection of brands that brings your creative vision to life. The luxury division of Pella is a world-class collection of brands, including Duratherm, Riley, and Bonelli, all pioneers of industry who provide window and door solutions to discerning architects, the building industry, and beyond. During this new year, we know how important it is to step back and spend time in gratitude. We appreciate all our clients trusting us with their projects in a record-breaking year. We are excited and ready to take on the new year in 2023. The luxury division of Pella doesn't push beyond limits. They set them. Explore PellaLuxury.com /the firm today. That's PellaLuxury.com /the firm today. Al, back to you.
Next, we have some very topical, applicable fan mail
Ooh, yeah.
that I think will actually help out our listeners.
So big shout out to Vadim Fedorishin. He writes, Dear Alex and Lance, I would like to thank you for the content that you create and the insight you provide into your firm. I am a huge fan and enjoy your Inside the Firm podcast. I'm also currently going through your Revit Rocker Chip course. Hey, check it out. I am hopeful that I can start pushing our firm into Revit. You're making the right decision. I also enjoy your A.R.E. Jeopardy segment on the show. I am recently a licensed architect myself, about a year and a half ago. Congratulations. And have completed the A.R.E. a few years back. I have enjoyed answering along with your staff during A.R.E. Jeopardy and to see how I would do. Attached, I've included some questions for future segments, which hopefully will be of use. Well, we are going to do that today. Actually, for the next couple weeks, probably the next month, we're going to be teeing up the questions that he's prepared for us. Since completing the A.R.E., I have worked on preparing a study guide based on the material I was studying and the knowledge I've gained throughout my preparation process and my career. Alex is holding up the book right now. If you're watching on the YouTube, the study guide has been published on Amazon in hopes of providing valuable resources for other A.R.E. candidates and architects. It is titled A.R.E. 5.0 Architect Registration Exam Comprehensive Study Guide. I have sent 2 copies of the guide to your office. Hopefully they will be of use to our staff, especially your A.R.E. candidates. Your contribution to the field of architecture is noticed and appreciated. I wish you both continued success in all that you do. Sincerely. Thank you so much for that fan mail. If I could get fan mail every week, I would be just tickled to death. That was fantastic.
And what's awesome about the 2, so one's going down to our Denver office and one's staying up here. And I mean, the guys and gals at the firm were just in awe. Like literally one of them is said, I can't wait. I can't wait to get into this. Awesome. So it's not just questions. It's basically notes on absolutely everything. Yeah, I look through this and I would recommend it. Absolutely great. Okay, moving on from there. Hopefully you can see this in the YouTube videos.
Well, okay. I'll tell you if you can. Here you go.
Whoa, look at that.
You can see it.
Perfect.
Yep.
We are almost done with 7 habits. We've read the last habit, which is sharpen the saw, and we're just going through basically like the last couple chapters, which are not really about the principles, or just kind of like it's not the forward, the end word, like it's not even the appendix. I don't know what those last kind of chapters are called, but they're just basically like the postlude.
Appendixes.
So, yeah.
Sure. Something.
Anyways, Lance, I think you found.
Yeah. So so on my screen, if you're looking up, if you're watching on YouTube here and reading, I'll just read it to you too. Habit 7 of Stephen Covey is, his book is Sharpen the Saw. And obviously the pun about this is great, right? Like you probably thought, hey, today's episode from Inside the Firm is called The Importance of Sharpening Your Saw. Maybe you thought we were going to talk about construction stuff. We are not. We are talking about the summary of this habit 7, which is super important. So it's all about self-renewal. So basically, I've got this diagram up, and what I really liked about it is it's you, unless you are giving yourself some reprieve or a break, you're going to burn out. And then there's some examples up there of like how much more effective are you? Let's say you're going to cut down a tree, is if you spent the time literally sharpening the saw, and then just cutting through that sucker in real time like it's butter. So this diagram that I got pulled up here on YouTube, it shows there's 4 parts to it. Physical, making sure you get proper exercise, nutrition, you're managing your stress. Then there's social/emotions, making sure, so that's through your service, empathy for others, synergy you have with your team, intrinsic security. And then the third one, spiritual. So value clarification, commitment, study, meditation, just taking time for yourself and sort of, if you feel like you're pulled apart at the end of the week, trying to pull yourself sort of back together and center yourself, and then mental, reading, visualizing, planning, and writing. Those 4 things, super important. So if you end up taking on, architectsguide2.com, obviously, one of the things, you're going to be pulled apart a little bit because you're expanding, you're leveling up. So don't forget to try to take that extra time for yourself. I thought this was one of the shortest, sweetest chapters that we've read so far on 7 Habits.
Absolutely. I wanted to show you one thing. I'm going to get
your turn.
The cord of power right here and plug it in. And I don't know if you've seen this. So, Lance, you are familiar with 3D printing. You've probably seen a 3D printer for an actual house. Matt, here we go.
It's coming. Yeah.
Reisinger. Have you seen what they're doing in Texas?
Yes.
Have you seen this one?
I don't think so.
This is actually Lennar. So Lennar's all over the place. But the
big builder.
The 3D printing itself, so like it's a typical house plan. Like you can see the garage on the left-hand side, and then like basically shotgun until you get back behind the garage. And they're doing a whole neighborhood. And they are doing it basically all one story. And the price is going to be in the similar range, like literally similar to what they're doing before.
Okay.
Like what Lennar is doing, like let's just say a city over, right? Because Lennar does things all over the place. And what's kind of cool about it is they're going to paint it, but like that's it, Lance.
And they're going to leave it as is.
They're going to leave it as is. The floor, it's slab on grade. It's polished. There's basically no trim work. There's no drywall. You shoot the insulation in. Like, you print the walls. There's no vapor barrier. You know, there's
Can I play devil's advocate?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to pretend on my wife. I'm going to pretend on my wife.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God, there's going to get so much dirt in between those little joints on the outside and the inside. This would be a nightmare to clean.
Great point.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, look, to be fair to anybody, like I'm thinking the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, Lance.
And can I? I'll answer it in two ways. One, I'll answer it in the mean way. Okay. That's like saying when you built your house and your grandma says, "Those windows are so high. How are you going to clean them?" I wouldn't have that. You know what I mean? Like
what they literally said is they said, everybody still says this. Oh my God, I love your house, but I wouldn't look forward to cleaning it.
Exactly. So it's like, okay, you like people have to say that. You even have to say that.
Yeah.
So like, how much is that actually going to stop you or not?
Pause it here. So they've got close enough. Okay, so that's their cavities, and then what are they filling it with? Spray foam? Are they doing all MEP in there and then spray foam after that? Something?
Yes. Cool. Yep, electrical and stuff like that. And you might have saw, and I'll actually So they have bucks for the door frames, so it's easy to install, so you're not changing anything. And then these are little structural pieces where your electrical and all that comes out. And they're printing right on the slab.
Wow.
And then then they're just doing, and they pre-polish it, and then they'll just come do a touch-up polish to get all the dirt off and all that. And then the floor is done. Then the floor is done.
Yeah.
But the second thing to your question too, like, hey, let's be your criticism is valid. Maybe there needs to be some sort of attachment to your vacuum that you just go along the walls once a month, and it's like, maybe that's a thing.
My criticism isn't. Here's the point of my criticism was just to try to shoot holes in it. But the biggest thing is I don't think it's valid criticism in the context of the whole. It's not worth not doing this and pursuing this.
Right.
We'll figure it out.
Yep.
New vacuum attachments will become available or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool. I mean, the texture is cool. It's certainly a lot more, honestly. Even though it's obviously machine made and all of that, I think there's an argument here that that texture is more humanist than drywall texture. Especially if you said especially if you compared level 5, just a pure drywall finish.
Yep.
Compared to this texture, this seems more humanistic. It's scaled. There's some scale to it instead of just big planes of nothing.
Yep. And I kind of want to run through this and you will understand. And I'm running through it because both me and you have constructed, right? So on the screen, right now you can see that there's a garage. There's 2 bedrooms on the lower side and a shared bath. Then that's probably some sort of mudroom. And what would you say that back? Just maybe a mudroom and a closet?
Yeah.
Right behind the garage. Then you have your kitchen with your island. They even print your island. So all you're doing is installing your cabinets, your countertops, and for your kitchen and your bathroom. And then you see the master closet and all that. and you're like, you're done.
We're getting there, man.
You're done. But I guess that was the point I wanted to make, was not the layout, but like just the simplification of it all. Because here's the other thing, and you watched Elon Musk, or at least most of it, right? Remember, like, he talked about, we're going to, instead of like putting doors on a car and then taking them off, and then we're going to assemble it all at once. Just think, Lance, once you put in a floor and then the drywall and the painting and the like, okay, did I put in the floor first? So now I need to cover it. And then like, okay, now I need to paint that, and now I need to paint the trim. And that's after there's just like so many steps that are just eliminated right now. And that's why I love it.
Cool. Very exciting news. Thanks for keeping us abreast about that, because it's coming. So I would love for somebody to contact us and say, hey, I want a 3D printed house in Colorado, and I'll make it happen.
Yep, we can do it. Okay, moving on to the economy. Hard transition. Wanted to bring this up. Consumers keep feeling better about today and worse about tomorrow.
Interesting title.
And it basically states, when I talk to CEOs, they feel more uncertain about the course of inflation as we run through 2023 and 2024. There's still a real belief that inflation will be stickier and harder to moderate now than markets now predict. So essentially, they're doing these surveys, and people feel fine now. And I think jobs just came out. It was another good month for jobs that came out. And a lot of people are saying, hey, things are fine now, but the future, I have little to no faith in it. And that's what this article is saying.
Yeah.
And I think most people are on that same page.
Yeah. Perfect. This list links up perfectly with mine then. As a not a hard transition and a soft, fluffy transition. That's really my middle name, Lance. Fluffy Transitions. Yeah. Cayko.
Lance, you could pet him.
Yeah, he's very pettable. I'm up on LinkedIn here. Economists, recession pushback, which plays into exactly what Al is saying. Right. Right now we feel okay. There's work. There's inquiries, but we are really uncertain about this future because we've seen this. History doesn't repeat, it rhymes. And the rhyme here is like, we've seen what happens before when the Fed has to, because they already did the bad thing of printing all the money, then they have to constrict everything and sort of get us back to normal in this gamed economy. So from Kate Chapman, editor at LinkedIn News, economists are pushing out their expectations for a U.S. recession, with half as many forecasting a slowdown to begin at the end of March. As we're doing so late last year, 58% of those surveyed by the National Association of Business Economics still expect a recession this year. Only a quarter foresee it starting in the next quarter. The shift follows a blockbuster January, like you mentioned, Al, in which the economy added more than 500,000 jobs and the unemployment rate hit a 54-year low of 3.4%. The big bullet point is a third of economists surveyed now expect a contraction in growth to occur in the April to June quarter, while a fifth expected to see in the July-September. So it seems like most people are lining up with Mr. Al Gore here. The second quarter is maybe the problem. Oh, he's pivoting.
I would disagree. I thought the worst would be in April. It looks like the start of the worst.
The start of the worst. Yeah.
The start of the worst. I thought the actual worst would be in April. I now don't think that is correct. I think it will start to be the worst.
Imagine if you're listening to this podcast and you see how if you followed it, you understand that this sort of keeps getting punted, a little bit further, but it seems like no matter what, it's coming. So, man, now you have one last chance to level up. Try to take the leap. architectsguide2.com. And extend yourself so that you can ride out this recession successfully and not have to lay people off. And then when the recession is rescinded and we're back to growth again, you still hopefully have the same staff and you don't have to rebuild and you're ready to rock.
And if you don't want to, if avoiding that isn't enough, when I was talking to Jake, the first two things came to mind. I was like, I'll tell you about two different $20,000 mistakes that I made. So if you just want to save that, it's worth it.
Yeah, exactly. Good stuff. Okay, Al, I think we're on to A.R.E. Jeopardy, buddy.
Wow, and we got the new questions from the new book, so let's bring down the team. All right, is everyone ready? Yep. These questions are from the A.R.E. 5.0 Comprehensive Study Guide.
Yep.
Question number 1. The minimum parking aisle width is allowed for an accessible van parking space. Is it, you might want to write these down because it's up to E. All right? Is it A, 8-foot wide parking space with an 8-foot wide access aisle? Is it B, 11-foot wide parking space with a 5-foot wide access aisle? Is it C, 10-foot wide parking space with a 5-foot wide access aisle? Is it D, A and B? Or E, A and C? This is spot on. Do. 3, 2, 1. Decisions. D, B. What do you got? You got the last one? E. It is D, which is A and B, which is 8-foot wide parking space, 8-foot wide aisle, or 11-foot wide space, 5-foot wide. Look at that. Question numeral uno. Dos. This one's only ABCD. Which project phase is used to establish the design criteria for a new project? Which project phase is used to establish the design criteria for a new project? Is it A, schematic design phase, B, programming phase, C, design development phase, or D, inquiry phase? Which project phase is used to establish the design criteria for a new project? All right. We have A, which is SD. We have B, which is programming phase. And we have A, which is SD. The correct answer is B, programming phase. Oh. Lance.
All right, number 3. Of the following, which soil classification may be considered most appropriate for allowing drainage? Is it A, GW, which is well-graded gravel? Is it B, CL, which is lean clay? Is it C, GP, which is poorly graded gravel? Is it D, SM, silty sand? I love Ross's reactions to this because it's just...
It's like trauma.
Oh, it's traumatic.
Yeah.
These are perfect A.R.E. questions. Man, these are solid. Say it again, Tyler. Yep, rereading the answers. A, GW, well-graded gravel. B, CL, lean clay. C, GP, poorly graded gravel. D, SM, silty sand. Okay, the correct answer is C, GP, poorly graded gravel. Ross, did you get that? Yep. Nice.
So this has been so long ago. It's called poorly graded gravel.
And
they go,
why?
GP? Okay, so G, like, they just did it backwards, and I'm done with that. Moving on.
I'm still surprised you passed just because of the dyslexia. Imagine memorizing this. I don't know. I'm blown away. Al beat me by one day?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't really talk.
I know.
4. Which of the following legal land terms describes the right for an entity to use a portion of the landowner's property for a specific purpose? Is it A, eminent domain, B, deed restriction, C, conditional covenant, or D, easement? Everybody's thinking. Everybody got their answers. Anybody need a repeat?
Once we say the answer, you will know it.
Okay, the correct answer is D, easement. What do we got for scores? Jason has 3.
I got
2. They got 3. All right,
All
let's
right.
do the tiebreaker.
Oh, wait, who got 3? Ross? Does Ross count? Do they count?
They count.
All right, they're cool.
All right, you want to read the tiebreaker, Al?
All right, tiebreaker. Lance is looking for whoever writes it down first. Is that what we're going for?
No, the tiebreaker is.
Oh.
No, yeah, this is...
I guess it's an A, B, C, or D. Right? Or do we want to just them write it down?
I think it's just one word. Write it down.
Okay. Which of the following / write the term down surveys? So it's a survey.
What type of survey? Yep.
Should be requested in order to gain an understanding of the shape of the terrain.
It is not ILC.
Topo survey.
Yeah.
Correct. Topographical.
Topographic survey.
Yeah.
I was like, that's too simple. That can't be it.
Yeah. Where are we going to eat? And there's only one correct answer.
Let's try the new place.
Hey, the new place is open right by Pistachios.
They opened up a second location of where would you like to go?
Roses?
Runza. I can't believe we
In
have we
Longmont?
have a demand for 2 Runzas.
Did they really? Oh, I almost died inside.
Not Runza, but if Runza, if you're listening, I will read copies for you for money.
As will I.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, leave us a positive comment. If you're listening on the iTunes terrestrially, please leave us a 5-star review. If you are a fan, please send us fan mail. See you next week.